Ever wondered how one clipboard-wielding neighbor could rewrite your family legacy into her personal ATM? What if the same HOA that fined you for a crooked mailbox suddenly decided your grandfather's boathouse was community property, worth $200 a month in secret fees? And what if the whole block bought her? We're all in this together. Smile until your hidden camera footage proved she was robbing everyone blind. Let me take you there. Wildlife photographer, third-generation lakeside homeowner in this picture-perfect slice of suburban America, where the lawns are manicured and the rules are insane. 3 years ago I inherited the place from Grandpa Ray, the man who built that boathouse in 1979 with his own calloused hands because he wanted a spot to store his fishing boat and teach his grandkid how to tie knots without some committee's permission. The deed was ironclad, the survey crystal clear. Our property stopped at the waterline and included every square inch of that garage. The HOA didn't even exist until 1986, and Grandpa made damn sure we were excluded. "Never let bureaucrats near your dock, Ethan," he used to say. I laughed then. Morning I paddled back at dawn with my camera bag dripping and spotted 3 gleaming classic cars parked inside like they owned the place. Blue Mustang, red Corvette, yellow Porsche. All vintage, all expensive, all crammed into Grandpa's garage like it was a luxury showroom. The doors were wide open, lights blazing, and there she stood on my dock, Karen Whitaker, HOA president, real estate queen, and the woman who had spent 8 years turning our neighborhood into her own little fiefdom. 54, blonde helmet hair, blazer sharper than her smile. She held a clipboard like it was the 10 Commandments. "Ethan, perfect timing," she chirped, voice dripping with that fake neighborly warmth that makes your skin crawl. "We've launched our new community classic car enhancement program. Waterfront structures are now under HOA management per Resolution 2412. Property values up 15% already. Aren't you proud?" I beached the kayak, water sloshing around my boots, and stared. "That's my garage, Karen." Now. She didn't even blink. Actually, according to the updated county water rights statutes, any structure adjacent to shared lakefront falls under association purview. We voted 28-12 last month. I have the minutes right here if you'd like to review them over coffee. She offered the stapled stack like she was handing me a bake sale flyer. I didn't take it. "Well," I said slowly. "Deed says so." Grandpa made sure of it. For half a second her smile flickered, pure calculation, then snapped back. "There's been some confusion about boundaries, dear. But we're all neighbors here." Behind her, 2 guys in polo shirts were polishing the Mustang like it was their new toy. One of them laughed at something, but I kept my voice steady. Years of waiting in blinds for the perfect heron shot had taught me patience. I pulled out my phone, dialed 911, and reported trespassing. Officers showed up 13 minutes later, took one look at my deed, one look at Karen's clipboard full of resolutions, and shrugged. "Civil matter, sir." Karen's smile went nuclear. "See? We can resolve this amicably at the next board meeting. No need for escalation." She handed me her business card, Whitaker Properties, tagline, "Your dream home, our rules," and click-clacked away in heels that sounded like a countdown timer. That night I lay awake staring at the ceiling while my wife Mia, the property law shark, read every document Grandpa left. "This is airtight," she said, voice low and dangerous. "They have 0 jurisdiction. 3 families pushed out in 5 years with the same smile and bulldoze routine." I nodded, already mentally mapping my next moves. No yelling. Just quiet observation. I installed the same motion-activated cameras I use for time-lapse wildlife shots, night vision, timestamps, multiple angles. Insurance companies loved my work because nothing escaped the lens. Tonight that skill was about to serve a very different purpose. By morning the slander machine was already humming. Karen had apparently told the neighborhood I was the selfish holdout refusing to support community enhancement. My daughter Lily came home from school in tears. "Madison's mom said you're trying to bankrupt the HOA and make us all pay higher dues." Black humor at its finest, Karen was the one pocketing cash, yet I was the villain. I smiled through it, kept shooting. on. Every night Karen or her paid members came and went. I captured it all. Faces, license plates, her laughing while counting cash from some guy named Mr. Harlan who thought he was renting secure community storage. Then came the Saturday appreciation event. I woke to music blasting, car doors slamming, the smell of catered pastries drifting across my dock. 20 people milling around my boathouse like it was a block party. Karen in a sundress, microphone in hand. Welcome to Lakeside Classic Car Day. Preserving automotive history while boosting our property values. Thanks to our forward-thinking board. A banner hung across the doors. HOA-approved premium storage. $200 per month. Limited spots. People sipped mimosas on my property. One guy actually asked me if I wanted to join the wait list. I raised my camera and started snapping. Get off my dock, I said calmly. Karen's mic dropped a notch. Community event on managed waterfront space. Notices went out weeks ago. Hiding behind your lens. I kept filming. Comfortably. Mr. Confused. Wait, you told me this was HOA property. Karen patted his arm. Minor paperwork hiccup, darling. Your contract is ironclad. Police arrived again. Same shrug. But this time I had video of her installing the sign, collecting cash, and telling buyers at an open house that the boathouse was an exclusive HOA amenity. The threat started subtle. Professional relationships can suffer when someone isn't a team player. Then personal. Lily's friends unfollowed her, questioning my neighborhood drama. Karen's mask slipped further every day, but she still smiled like a shark selling oceanfront property. By the annual meeting I had terabytes of proof, timestamps showing her private LLC, Lakeside Premium Storage Solutions, registered in her name only, bank statements funneling $200 monthly fees straight to her personal account, not the HOA treasury. 3 families had paid 6 months up front. Over 10 grand in stolen community money. I walked in with Mia, projector ready, heart steady. The room was packed. Clipboard gleaming, confident she'd ram through another resolution giving the board enhanced management powers. She called my name with that same sugary tone. Ethan has 3 minutes for his concerns. I clicked the first slide. Grandpa's 1979 boathouse photo. Then the deed. Then the LLC registration. Then the contracts. The room went dead silent. Stood up, face purple. I paid $1,200 for storage you don't own? Fletcher, the old-timer who'd been on the board since day one, rose slowly. We never voted on any of this. Show the minutes, Karen. She tried the usual spin. Out of context, greater good. But her voice cracked. Board members looked at her like she'd grown horns. Fletcher called for an emergency vote to suspend the entire board pending audit. Seconded in seconds. Karen's empire didn't just crumble. It exploded in real time. The fallout was poetry. Local news expose. Ended her license. IRS audit on the unreported cash. 3 misdemeanor fraud charges. Class action from the car owners. She settled everything. Paid back every dime plus damages, lost her house, moved 40 miles away to a rental she could barely afford. The new board rewrote the bylaws, apologized publicly, covered my legal fees. The 3 classic cars were towed out the same week. Mr. Harlan personally apologized and shook my hand. Never again, he said. Grandpa's boathouse sits quiet now, just my kayak and camera gear inside. Sunlight slants through the same windows he framed. Lily's back to normal, the neighborhood breathes easier, and the only rule anyone still talks about is the one we all learned the hard way. Never trust a Karen with a clipboard who says, it's for the community. But the real satisfaction wasn't the money or the headlines. It was watching Karen's face when the judge read the permanent injunction. 500 feet away from my property forever. She who once strutted my dock like royalty now couldn't even drive past without risking jail. Black humor peak. Her community service photos popped up online. Bright orange vest, picking up trash on the highway she used to speed down in her leased Mercedes. Every Saturday, rain or shine. The same woman who lectured us about standards, now literally cleaning up after the world she tried to rule. I documented that too, of course. Not for revenge, though the thought crossed my mind, but because some stories deserve to be preserved. The new HOA president, Fletcher, called me last week. Another neighborhood 30 miles south is dealing with the same playbook. President claiming private sheds for storage solutions. He asked if I'd share my evidence package. I said yes. Nobody wants to admit, these Karen empires only grow in the dark. They thrive on good neighbors who assume it'll blow over. Or, I don't want the drama. They count on you folding when the police shrug and the board votes and the rumors start flying. But one camera, one folder of receipts, one meeting where you refuse to whisper, that's all it takes. The day the final check cleared, I stood on the dock at golden hour, same time I first saw those cars. Mia handed me a beer. The water. No banners, no music, no fake smiles. Just the lake, the boathouse, and the quiet knowledge that Grandpa Ray's legacy was safe again. Somewhere out there another family is waking up to luxury cars in their garage, and a smiling president quoting bylaws. I hope they fight. Because the most satisfying sound in the world isn't a gavel slamming. It's the click of a camera capturing the exact moment a Karen realizes the rules she weaponized finally apply to her. And that, my friends, is how one misunderstood photographer turned an HOA heist into the most delicious public takedown this lake has ever seen. Look, HOA Karens like Whitaker don't fall because the law suddenly works, they fall because someone finally stops playing nice and starts playing smart. Document everything, stay patient, and when the meeting comes, let the evidence do the screaming. Your family's doc is worth it. Fight back or watch them steal it with a smile.